Let's get in.
They said Gray paved the way, chased the rain, released the pain, least you sane, getting paid, trend setting, brighter days, doper rap, tight as set, high and deadly, I'm a fighter jet, Jeremy.
What's really good, ladies and gentlemen? It's the Boricua Tony Starks, a.k.a. Chef, a.k.a. the original Boricua Don Dada. I'm here with none other than Mr. Muffins Martinez, the man who only needs one name to be introduced, unlike myself. My brother, please talk to me. I know you're fresh back from Boston.
Yes, sir. Like you say, I only need one or two names to introduce myself. Muffins Martinez. That's it, baby. Hey, I was on my way to Boston on Friday when I hit you up with the big news that it just popped, and that's MLW finally having a home set on stone, and it's on Reels, and bro, and I can't wait for this one, baby. I can't wait.
You know, and you hit me with this information. I think it was Saturday. I think it was, right? Or it was Friday.
Friday, the same day.
It was Friday. But then unfortunately you had your thing to do on Saturday, and then on Sunday I was at Urban Pro Wrestling doing my thing, so we didn't have the time to do it. Unfortunately, I was feeling, I had some issues with I yesterday, but we had to jump on this because this is huge for multiple reasons. Because we hear that MLW, and I know this is kind of going to go a little back and forth real quick. We hear MLW Underground is coming, right? So yes. El Jefe. And, we don't know if it's Aztec Underground. As right now, we know it is MLW Underground. So we know that El Jefe has been recruiting certain people. And if you really look at the people he has, they're from Lucha Underground.
Yep.
Right? Like, I know we weren't big on Johnny Fusion or whatever the name they want to call him is. But once again, that's a Lucha Underground guy. Taya Valkyrie, Lucha Underground. The guy who was going against... was Delirious part of Lucha Underground? No, right?
No, he was never. He was always ROH.
ROH, and then he went to Impact for a little while.
He had to work, and now I guess I don't know what happened. Honestly, I thought he was going to be working at Impact, to be honest with you. And I don't know what happened, and MLW snatched him up. So now he's at MLW.
Because I think we got him versus Lince Dorado at this point, right? I think that's what the new graphic was.
Yep.
So I think is the middleweight champion, right?
Yeah, middleweight champion. Yep.
So you have Lince Dorado already having a really, listen, Delirious is a solid wrestler. So you have a legit defense coming for Lince Dorado from what we know that he won the belt.
Yep.
Dope, right? Salute. We like that idea. We see that there's some kind of, which I know we previously talked about, and we didn't get to really sit there and say, and, pat ourselves on the back a little bit about MLW going to more of a hardcore direction, but they've had a lot more hardcore matches. And now you see, I think it's called like a trash. What is it? That match, like a 4-way. It's trash. Like
they have some kind of trash heat match or something. I don't know, man. So yeah, and they have your little buddy there, Microman.
Real one
in the trash.
No. Listen, nobody we know is a fan of Microman, right? Like nobody we talk to gives one shit about Microman. It's no disrespect, but it is what it is. But then, so you see, we're like, all right, this is what maybe the Sakura guy is coming in for. They're leading a little more to the hardcore. You got one called Manders. Yep. I think he's going against Mance Warner. I think it is. Is it? No, Shane. Ricky Shane, something.
Shane Page.
Yeah. So we're like, oh snap! Now my introduction to one called Manders, because I asked you, is that the same guy from Ric Flair's last match thing? Yeah. And yeah, he was. They killed it, right? So you're like, dope. You see a pattern going on. Yeah. Then we see, now the Reels news comes out. Now, please, I'm gonna shut up for two. I overtalk everything, but talk to me about Reels.
Well, man, this is huge because Reels has been out since 2009, and it was called Reels Movies or something before. Yeah. And now, it came big. They have over 70 million viewers or subscribers. So this is going to get eyes on MLW product. And what they decided to do was, this was already signed since the end of last year. But since MLW has got bitten in the ass before with Tubi, and I'm convinced they're still going to court with that. That's still going to court. And that's over a year and a half. And they're still going to court for that. They didn't want to get bitten again and get that sour taste. So they didn't say anything till Reels was the one who announced it. Then they were able to go, okay, now it's real. Now we have our own home. And what they decided to do was that they revamped everything. Now they're going to have, like you said, MLW Underground is going to be the main show now. And that one's going to be only available on Reels. So, and Reels available everywhere. DirecTV, Dish, every damn subscriber thing, Sling TV, Hulu, Prime. It's even on Samsung TV because I already found it on there. I already sent to my thing. So it's available everywhere. So no more excuses that I can't find this. MLW Fusion is still going to be intact, and it's still going to be on Sports,
Pro Wrestling
YouTube
TV,
and Pro Wrestling TV. They're still going to give it on those 3 places still. So basically, it's going to be 2 hours of original content. So you are not going to see the same thing twice on the same 2 different channels. So if you're looking for Underground, it's going to be only on Reels. That's the only way you're going to be watching Underground. It's going to be only on Reels. They're not going to do the replays on YouTube. None of that stuff. It's just one, and you got to watch it or you can miss it. So they're doing that. And then MLW ramped up their tours. Because now they have the one show in February 4th coming up now in Philly. Then they're going to Tijuana, Mexico the following week. Then they're having the March off, April 6th. They're having the War Chamber, which was announced for New York. And then 2 days later, on April 8th, they're going to go back to Philly for another show. So that right there is going to show you that they're actually trying to keep everything divided. And whatever they come here is going to be here. The same wrestlers are not going to be used on both shows. So, like you mentioned earlier, we might finally get that MLW Azteca or lucha stuff with Cesar Duran, and the Underground being specific MLW stuff on Reels. So we might finally get that wish where we get our Azteca lucha stuff on one specific show separate from MLW. Like we touched about that, a year ago? A year and a half ago, and 2 different podcasts that we were giving our ideas of what was going to happen with Cesar. And now we go a year later and it's finally coming to fruition. So a lot of guests will be coming in, a lot of women will be coming in. So we're going to see an influx of talent coming in. Just like we saw on the last show this past week. They had, they had a lot of good matches, especially that one with Alec Price and J.D. Crawford. That was a good ass match. I enjoyed that match because I didn't know much about Crawford, but I knew some stuff about Price because I've seen Price before. And I was like, now, if they could give me this on a weekly basis, hey, you got me sold, man. And this right here puts Court Bauer back in my Christmas list.
You know what?
Back on my Christmas list.
Yeah. Because listen, Court, you were starting to, fumble the ball a little bit. You know what I mean? Like we got to keep it honest here.
He was, with some of the people that are leaving, I was like, I don't know about this. He's out of the Christmas list. He's definitely back now, though.
Now, I gotta say this because now AB, our missing partner, we don't know where he is. He might be, we might have to stick him on a missing carton because who knows where this guy is.
Oh, the bag of popcorn.
But
the bag of popcorn.
Yeah. Facts. I mean, but now he wasn't a fan. And I gotta put him out there. he wasn't a fan of the Mexico tapings, right? Myself and Martinez loved it, right? We thought it was great.
Oh, sure.
If you give us, and I always talk about obviously the Richard Holiday versus Psycho Clown, right? I always talk about that match because to me I always talk about it's an amazing match. But if we get that feel and you throw that to MLW Underground, you give us that, right? And you separate an MLW Fusion, still feels like Fusion. You're giving us two completely different products to stay in love with. It doesn't feel like Raw and SmackDown where you're like, oh, it's just a different roster, same kind of thing, or, Impact and I think the
BTI?
BTI is something like that. It's like before, I don't remember the name of it, but it's like the same concept.
Yeah.
It's the same concept. If you give us two completely different things as fans, it keeps it fresh and we keep winning, right? We as fans win. So
more like you were saying about Impact, where they used to have Explosion, but they never used Explosion to what they should have been. I know our show, and they went and changed it to BTI, which now they do a lot of commentary, a lot of go over stuff, and 1 or 2 matches.
And the crazy part is, and not trying to overthrow anything, but I lived in Impact Wrestling. I was there every show. Your first 2 matches were like explosion matches that you're just getting comfortable, getting around. They throw out there, but if they actually sat there and said, you know what, we're going to use Explosion, we're going to make it like a secondary show, or if you make it like a YouTube special, do something, because you had enough, talent coming in and out of Explosion that it would have been really done well. But except it was kind of like they just threw it out there to throw it out there, whatever it was, but it was, and they didn't take advantage of this. Court Bauer has a gold mine literally sitting on him. Reels is a huge thing. You already heard Muppets explain to you how many subscribers he had, how many eyes can see this product. You have to take advantage of this. And not for nothing, I'm going to say this a million times because you pointed out a few minutes ago before we went on that Viva Van has her 6th belt, right? Yeah. So you're like, yo, Viva Van, who's one of the hottest free agents in the game. I don't care if you're a West Coast fan, East Coast fan, Dirty South, whatever you want to consider it. Viva Van is the shit. How she's not signed, I don't know. And if you could bring in a Viva Van to MLW, he pushes Taya. Taya's got to put the work in for someone like Viva Van, and you have that secondary amazing talent that could always be the number 1 talent. You know what I mean? Like, to me, it's nuts, bro. It's nuts.
Well, and the good thing about it, we don't know exactly what Rios is going to do, like if it's going to be like 2 different feels to the show, like, the whole color, color coordinated, what kind of colors they're going to do, the schemes and stuff like that. So that's going to be interesting to see what they change, because now this is going to be a nice revenue coming in from MLW, especially for the Underground show, to see how they'll change the whole setup going forward.
Like, and hear me out real quick. We have the Azteca Underground fan page on Facebook, right? There are people that will literally post everything about El Jefe, right? Like, he comes in with his own fan base. El Jefe is, people are paying attention to MLW just because of El Jefe.
Yeah.
What I'm saying, like, so if you let El Jefe rock and do his thing, he's already got his own fan base. He comes out, people are already, they're still chanting the Lucha Underground stuff. You know what I mean? Like, rock. Let him rebuild this.
Yeah, I know there's a female fan there on the Twitter page who loves El Jefe. Like, whatever she can find a picture of him, she always posts it if she finds him in a TV show, because as we know, he's an actor outside of wrestling. So wherever she sees him there's a picture of him where he was doing before. Oh, the last show he was in. So
it's a dope feel. I'm excited for this, you know, because you get to a point in wrestling where you kind of go through the motions. You're like, all right, it's the same thing. With this and now having a secondary show, I'm telling you right now, like, I don't care about who's one, who's two, because let's keep it honest. WWE's one and no one's close, not even AEW. So are you really battling for what? You know, take care of your own thing, worry about yourself.
AEW's two, as we know that. So
yeah.
And now the battle for three right now, MLW just went from doormat number 5 jump to number 3 just with the Reels announcement. I mean, you're talking about 70 million homes, you know. Now they can keep track of the viewers who's watching the show going forward. That's a lot of eyes. If you get one person that knows and somebody else to tune in, you know, it's available everywhere. You could have it on your TV, you have it on your phone. There's some apps. It's already attached to your TV. If you have, you know, from Best Buy, if you have a Samsung TV, you got the Samsung Plus channels in there. If you have in Invicta T or Insignia, they come with already set up with either Sling TV or somebody else. So the stuff is there. People just gotta, you know, look for it and activate it, but it's there for you to watch.
Yep. So now, wait, and I want to end it with this because I want to end it with a soup, right? So there, you know, Muffins knows I'm never on Twitter, but I seen a list of two, right? One half of, you know, what was their name again? The clout couple, right? One half of the clout couple.
Yep.
And she posted a picture of her and Richard Holiday and said, you know, we're going to come back stronger than ever. And that's because I've always been a fan of Richard Holiday. I love his, you know, he's battling some serious shit. And that's positive because he comes back. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm so hyped on MLW. Richard Holiday to me is the cherry on top. You know what I mean? Like when we get Richard Holiday back, I hope you people are ready because this, I think he's going to be the guy, right? Like he was going to be the guy prior to this issue. And I think they run that back. He becomes our guy. We know that El Jefe, Alicia to Holiday have been going side to side with each other. I think that would be the perfect transition. But that's just me. I'm excited. You're excited. Is there anything else we got to talk about that we left off?
Yes. Rest in peace to Jay Briscoe. You know, we found about that last week when we did our shows. I know tomorrow on AEW they're going to have Mark Briscoe go up against Jay Lethal on what would have been Jay's 39th birthday would have been tomorrow. And it's crazy because last week was Mark's birthday, like a day before or the day after, you know, Jay's untimely death. So if definitely this is something to tune into, man, tomorrow, because this is going to be a very emotional match, man. That is going to pull on your hearts tomorrow, man. You know, and also don't forget to please follow us because Chef always forget. Please forget to follow us on Urban Wrestling Network. We have every slide into all the pictures. There's a little clicking here with a little camera. You can click there and get all our pages to follow us because Chef always forgets to announce it. You know, we can't get followers if we don't tell them to follow.
You know what? I do always. It's just a bad. It's my bad. You know, I always forget. But listen, that little barcode gives you all information of everything you need. Yo, chop it up with us, man. Y'all know what it is, man. We talk with y'all, we joke with y'all, we show love. It's all good. We don't take nothing serious. We don't care. We do this for fun, right? We have a lot of fun doing this. We love MLW. We love wrestling.
Hey,
I mean, it's something. What happened?
Hey, Chef, and we're subscribers away from 500.
Yeah. Yeah, listen, we need 5 subscribers to 500.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
real
I don't care. If you don't mess with us, yeah, man, like 495.
Real people that we actually follow and we, from Twitter and everything else. Real individuals, not no bots, not no restaurants, not no pizza place, not 27 different ones from some chick named Roxy or something like that. None like that. No OnlyFans and none like that. Nobody. 495 real people.
So I'm gonna end this because now I'm gonna end this on a wrestling note, right? Because unfortunately, we just talked about Jay Briscoe. God bless the dead, because that's something that you can't talk the Briscoes without arguably saying one of the greatest tag teams of all time.
Top 10.
Not
top
even a
10
question.
easy.
Those guys, they're
easy.
top 10. I don't care if it's 1 or 10. Those guys are always be in everybody's top 10. Doesn't matter what company you're a fan of. Those guys are all the shit. But I'm going to end this with a little more positive. I'm going to show a little love to the guys that I was recently working with, and amazing guys. So Jake Logan, you've seen him. He's, I believe, the youngest N.W.A champion of all time, right? Amazing guy, and had the privilege to be in the locker room with this guy. Now, I'm not a wrestler, never wanted to be a wrestler. As of this moment, I'm managing a wrestler, so it's a lot of fun. Super amazing guy. I can't tell you how awesome the match he had and his veteranship inside the ring. Mr. James St. Patrick, who's on AEW Dark, killed it. What amazing dude. Another one of my favorite guys is Dominic Stuckey. He's been all over the place. Just had a match with Johnny Swinger, super talented young brother. Bison Clutch, Tiberius Wolf, Izzy Vaden, the lifeguard. I'm going to tell you now, if you want to see an awesome gimmick for somebody, you got to watch this guy. He's over everything he does. Super amazing kid. I mean, the list can keep going on, but these guys absolutely murdered it. They made it a lot of fun for me. I'm just a goofy dad, part of a show. And you got to support this shit. You got to support indie wrestling. Whatever your local is, go support it. If you love wrestling, support it. Us, we sit here, we talk this, we have a lot of fun. You know what I mean? Like, we're super legitly honest with things. And I know a lot of people don't like that because we're not homers. But if we sit here and tell you everything is great, then we're not having fun, and we don't want to do that, right? But we keep it 100. Muffins, he's close to being back to where he needs to be, and you'll start seeing a lot more content from him around rings because he loves wrestling. It's what he does. And, he'll be back to doing what he enjoys doing and cheering people on and booing people, and we'll give you that content as well. My brother, I think we touched everything. We said the rest in peace. We talked other stuff. We actually threw some UPW in there. We talked Reels. We talked Underground. We talked Fusion. I think we nailed everything. So you know what? Ladies and gentlemen, hit the subscribe, hit the like, hit the notification bell. For myself, Mr. Muffins Martinez, the GOAT, we out of here. Deuces.